I also think, pound for pound, the riflers on ranking are far and away better than XROCK at the moment, and that is a big problem. They are not being able to compete. They are certainly not competing with the riflers, and like, at least when it came to the sniping, I mean, Xia was kind of still in there, right? He felt like maybe he was that pillar of consistency actually on Ankara especially, that was, you know, at least having some sort of contribution, but hard to imagine that's going to be a big factor here on Mexico. And we'll head into map 4 of the series between XROCK and Ranking, and it does feel as though Ranking are poised to make history happen here and knock a Chinese team out before they make it into playoffs. Let's find out though whether or not Ranking can do it here on Mexico, or if XROCK can push it through to port.
It all comes down to having a good start here for Ranking as we hop into it. They're on the GR side. Everything looks like it's leaning in their favor. But that's when teams can start to make those mistakes again. It's when they feel like they've done it already. So they can't afford to make those small miscommunications or mistakes here at this point. GA almost taken down actually by Ice Cube at the start of this round. Ranking going for a full swing onto the water and spotting, but XROCK, they're going to reignite this execution here, and I'm not so sure they're going to be fully prepared for it. Ice Cube left alone here, misses the shot as well, has to get the follow through. KT-15 nearby for the response, and again, this isn't like XROCK. They normally would have gone for that here, but you can tell the confidence has gone down quite a bit now in this 4th map.
Well, we talked about the sort of Vietnamese meta on this map on the GR side and the presence that they put on that water position, and it's actually paid off for them in that round, because XROCK multiple times have kind of probed that area of the map, and even here Ranking are going to try to recontest it. Look at that, there's no way that XROCK was expecting this. And C4's been dropped as well, so Ranking playing their style, and it is working out, at least in this case. C4 retrieved and then lost by Xia, and it's just Lee left alive dueling against FatCon. Huge start from Ranking Esports. That belief is definitely there.
It's very unusual to retake water during the round with like 3 guys, but it's working out for Ranking.
Maybe not weird in Vietnam. Like we talked about that Kara House and Ranking matchup, how many times they contested water between each other.
Right, yeah, I agree.
And so that little tendency is shining through here again, and I wonder if XROCK have picked up on that, because again, like, they also now are showing that presence in water multiple rounds in a row. But are you then kind of playing into the hands of Ranking, who are used to dealing with this?
Yeah, I think that's the problem there. Ranking know how to handle it very nicely. They've shown it multiple times throughout this tournament so far. I feel like if you want to beat Ranking, you actually want to get aggressive the opposite direction towards this A bomb site. This is where they've had some issues in the past with how they rotate on the retakes, and you could potentially catch them off guard. But Humio, he's the one you have to get past on this A ramp position, and he has been deadly so far in these last 2 maps. You can see XROCK though, this is where they want to take it. 4 players in alley, grouped up, ready to execute. The flashes come out over the top. FatCon completely blinded, but Nevis goes down first. KT-15 able to hold on with FatCon. Chow sneaks in, but FatCon, he stalls perfectly, looks down at the forklift, and now it's a 1-on-3 they can't win their way out of, and Ranking get yet another round.
I can't believe FatCon survives that entire round. Like, he's in the most dangerous position, and he's dancing around the boxes and dancing around the forklift at the back of sight. It did look like a rough setup, to be quite honest with you, though, for XROCK. Like, you've got essentially 4 players that can defend the A bomb site. It's a fast rotate for Hugh and for Ice Cube, who were playing mid and water respectively. And as long as those players on the site don't instantly die on the entry, then you're going to get given time to rotate in, and that's exactly what happened. So 2-0, solid start for Ranking.
They are going to be playing a little bit more passive this time around. XROCK not really going for any early control play, though they are slowly working their way up the alley. Again, it looks like an A split is the target, but if you're going to go into Humio, you've got to be ready for him on the other side of it here. Hugh not going to be traded down as well. Surprising to see. Chow gets that one. Nice headshot there. Now they've got control over mid as well. And Nevis almost eats that nade. Ice Cube, he really wants that secondary kill to answer back, but it's already down to a 5-on-3 at this point. But Ice Cube, He's got a chance to turn things back around. Nevis as well. Might get gifted this frag, but actually Lee somehow gets the repeat onto that spot. Ice Cube, he's left alone here, but he hits the shot. The trade quickly comes through. KT15 on the flank, but he cannot connect to the spray at all. And XROCK do manage around here, but still the lead holds for ranking.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky for ranking. Felt like Nevis, at least when he was pushing into alley, should have probably been able to bring that back to a 3-on-3, and that would have cleaned it up, really. I think Ice Cube then more presence looking in toward mid rather than having to deal with that alley trade and the flank coming in from behind. I actually think that round was definitely winnable for ranking in the 4-on-3, but either way, they do give the first round over to XROCK.
XROCK again, they keep thinking about pushing water and then backing off pretty quickly. This time, kind of just letting the utility hold them out of mid. I would love to see a mid to B execution from XROCK. I feel like that would be pretty valuable at this point, knowing ranking is a team that puts the extra attention on that water position. It often leaves the B bomb site with either one player or just one late rotator holding it nearby. And even in this round, there's nobody directly contesting that bomb site, but XROCK, they're so turtled up here, they can't get that information.
Well, pretty standard mid take from XROCK. And where do they go from here? Surely toward B. Look at all the util getting tossed on out. Here's a big moment actually for ranking. This is a big test, especially for KT15, who's really the only one here that can defend, but he's just not there fast enough. Beaten for pace. And Chow was able to assist on that frag. This might be where it starts to fall apart a little bit for ranking. Certainly not looking as convincing now. Humio for one, but low on HP. Won't expect Chow around the corner there, and either way, easy done for XROCK. Couple of shouts, trying to pump themselves up.
Yeah, it's a huge mistake, I think, like leaving B side completely open. They had like 3 players in front of water, but the rotation was just way too slow through alleyway. So, I mean, it was late run already, like 1 minute left on the clock. You should send at least player towards quad area or towards B side, even better. So, yeah, I think not the best rotations here coming in from the Vietnamese team.
Yeah, a bit tough here. 2 in a row, though, for XROCK. It could be their chance to get back into this game quickly, and again, they take control of mid. This time, 2 kills in the process. Ice Cube able to find 1, but look at this play from Sunny. Just goes guns blazing down the ramp. Chow and Yang to follow, and Chow gets the double to clean it up. And this is XROCK starting to come back to life in this series. 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I can tell you for sure XROCK is a lot more animated on the stage right now than they had been throughout any of the maps so far. There is some screaming and shouting happening, not even after the round, but literally during the round. It's like a constant train of information getting screamed. But it will slow down again at the start of the round.
Yeah, right now for ranking, I feel like one of the big downsides so far is Hugh very quiet on this map in the first 5 rounds. And we've talked pretty consistently about how crucial those first 5 can be. And right now, out of the first 5, it's XROCK leading on BL Mexico, which is not what you want to see. Your ranking in this situation, it only gets harder from here to put these rounds up. But again, Humio, what is he doing? He's alone pushing the alley bridge against 3 players, and ranking, they can't really do anything to help him.
You can hear how much this means for XROCK. Anytime an enemy is spotted, there is still a lot of noise being made, and it's going to be that push through to B. Potentially again, ranking a better setup for it this time around, but I actually think maybe the better choice is to go into the A site here. It feels like they've already drawn that rotation. Util's getting tossed in. It's the re-aggression though from ranking, the crunch back into mid that they thought would work, and it's blown up in their face. It's a 4-2 now. XROCK have turned it on Mexico.
I think ranking should try at least play 1 round aggressive mid together with like 3 or 4 players, or just play passive on site. But Humeo, the solo aggression mid just don't work out at all for him. I mean, this position is basically made for him, like holding A cross with the AK, can go for some clean taps, but for some reason just doesn't feel it right now. So maybe either like ask teammates to support you with like a free stack in mid, or just back off to the bomb site.
Definitely wouldn't mind seeing ranking just slow it down a little bit here and go back into their sites. You give Ice Cube the opportunity there for a couple of picks maybe with the Orm before the actual fights happen. KT15's been looking solid as well. Try to go back to the fundamentals, trade things down on the entries into the sites. That's what worked out on A. Ice Cube gets info and damage, but not enough. And KT15 also huge chunks of damage, swathes of damage, but no kills coming through for ranking. And Fatcon is the last survivor. He's snuck back into water, but Gia is watching for that one. And XROCK are certainly beating ranking for pace at this point in time. Good time to call the timeout, but have they already let too much slip in the first half here, ranking? Got to be wondering that. 5-4 feels like it has to be the bare minimum for ranking now, which even then is a disadvantage.
Actually just thought they have the perfect setup here in front of water, like Ice Cube spotting them very early, gets a leg shot, but KT15 like for some reason couldn't connect the shot, and also the players on A didn't even realize that there's a flank towards alleyway, because even like one round before there was always this guy lurking towards alley. So yeah, it seems like the setups just don't work out, and I feel like ranking should either play like again aggressive in mid with like 3 or 4 players to stop the aggression from XROCK, or just play passive on side with like 2 players on B, 3 players on A, and just leave water completely open.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it there as well. 2 back-to-back plays in the round where they get a free 1-on-2 for XROCK. And that's 5 in a row on the BL side, and it starts to look a little bit grim on this map for ranking. And I feel like this was their map to win. Going into map 5, it's not going to get any easier against XROCK, especially if the shots are starting to fall back into place. Ranking, if they want this series, I almost feel like they have to somehow pull this map back.
Last map is Port, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I was starting off a blacklist for ranking, so I mean, it felt like they were leading 2-0, right? It felt like the momentum is shifting towards the Vietnamese team. Yeah, XROCK bounced back into this matchup. Some good executes.
It's going to be a fast A, it looks like, for XROCK as well. Already 2 forward in alley. The other 3 working their way quickly down the A ramp. Nevis has to hang on here with Ice Cube, but so far it is not so good on the A bomb site. No kills go the way of ranking. Yang and Chow just decimate the defense, and Hugh is already left low in the alleyway. He's taken down. Fatcon, what can you do here? 1 versus 5. A little bit of desperation coming out. He sinks back onto the B bomb site, and maybe to take a moment and talk with his team here, but things are not looking good at all for ranking on this map, especially on the GR side. Not what I was expecting after the map 3 they had, but XROCK, they are looking like the clear-cut dominant team in this 4th map.
It is feeling destined to go to 5 at this point. That is a painful half from ranking. And a completely different looking XROCK. You got Yang stepping up, Chow, Lee, Sunny and G, all 5. You go down the list and everyone's having a good game here. Ranking definitely need the 3rd, and I'm not sure they're going to get it after that start. Oh, she is just lighting up the scoreboard and the kill feed. Lee as well alongside him. It is so over for ranking in this first half, and you'd have to think probably in the map as well. That is a completely different looking XROCK, 7-2. How do you come back from that as ranking?
I don't think you do on Mexico, especially with XROCK getting the GR to close this out. It should be map 5 on the way. I feel like ranking made so many mistakes, not getting the trade setups to work out for them, and consistently also not being ready for alley pushes. I feel like it was so obvious XROCK was going to push alley aggressively those last 2 rounds, and they still got caught by it.
Being down 2-7 on Blacklist, it's tough. It's almost impossible.
Especially with Hugh going 1-8, right?
Yeah.
He has been the MVP back-to-back, sub-base Ankara. Bailed them out of so many situations. He got countless advantages, multi-frags all over the place. And here, barely even registering on the scoreboard. Nevis as well, someone that was pretty good. 2-9. Where are the frags going to come from for ranking?
Gia, is he going to spot Ice Cube? Yes, he is. Through the smoke, doesn't matter. KT-15 with the jump out. Able to help so far. Not a bad start here for ranking. They clear out the bomb site completely. Hugh and KT-15 doing a good job of getting those trades on the entry together. Chow, the last alive, and Nevis is going to be spotted out here by Chow. Doesn't matter. Nevis gets the shots. Nobody goes down on the BL side, so hey, not a bad start for ranking to maybe claw back on map 4.
Difficulty is it's going to have to be near perfect here from ranking. I think the moment you let one round slip here and allow XROCK back in, you're pretty much donezo. I suppose they've got 2 to play with, right? If it's 9, I think you're sort of dancing on too thin a knife's edge, but as long as it's 7 or 8 here for XROCK, so maybe I'll give them 1 round. If 1 round goes wrong here for ranking, it's not the end of the world. But beyond that, we're looking at map 3. Until that point, though, it pretty much has to be perfection from ranking. They're just going to have to take it 1 round at a time and make sure they win every single one of those rounds. It's a good nade to land on the head of Yang. But a responding nade in kind sort of trades that damage back.
XROCK seem to be aware that players are starting to work their way up into alley as well. Yang just playing alone on the back of site. Does have Lee nearby just in case, but ranking, they've got to be ready once again on this A push. It looked pretty flawless the last time around, but we'll see if they can do it back to back. This time it's Sunny. Good for the first. Lee swings wide, and ranking, they're just kind of stuck in this corner, but still, they get their way out of it. Huge kills going for all of these players, but Nevis, that double kill is everything to get them out of that position. Now GA is left alone in a 1-on-3.
He's got no HP either to play with, so it would be a miracle if XROCK were to be able to pick this round up. He'll work his way toward the doors and wait for a mistake if anyone's pushing in through mid, but he's not going to get it, and timer is ticking, so he's going to have to go. They know that he's out onto the site now as well. Catches Ice Cube in the side. Fuckon full HP. Not going to come into play in the end. It's Nevis. Huge round from him, and you can actually see the setup working there for ranking, right? The first 2 guys go in the site, and you think, wow, this is looking a bit baity. But then Nevis is there watching one of the angle, the doors. Ice Cube watching toward forklift. And when the XROCK players swing, they inevitably do end up actually getting traded down. It looked bad for a moment for ranking, but they were given those timings by XROCK and they were able to salvage it. Still, not the cleanest of rounds for ranking, but enough. 2 in a row on the blacklist side, though. It's got to be a confident settler. Though, I need to see more before I start to really get on board.
Is to be ranking, setting up that mid-execution. A lot of smokes being thrown towards the A ramp. And here comes the commit onto it. GA, he's got a good spot, but the utility forces him off of it. He gets a nice nade over the top, though. A lot of damage from it. Lee, good for 1, but here come the trades. Ranking trying to shove their way through. It's just not going to work out, though. Chow and Sunny shut it down. Nevis tries to get something done here. He's got the opportunity to sneak behind, gets the double kill, and now they narrow it down. They can get this bomb back potentially and get towards that B bomb site, but it is pretty far in there. So now Nevis has to support this play, but the 2v4 is down to a 2-on-1 now. Sunny, the last hope for XROCK to keep this round in their grasp, and he's got the bomb in his hands to do it with.
Oh, he's actually pushed forward, which is kind of a galaxy brain play, but Ice Cube is also holding that W key. I wonder if he's going to be a little bit faster. Is Sunny aware of this flank, this rotation? Has he heard him? He's going back to look at the A side, but will he be prepared for the swing from the double doors and also for Ice Cube? Does he expect Sunny in mid? Layers upon layers of mind games in this round, and here comes Ice Cube in through mid. I can't imagine he's going to check this angle. Sunny gets the timing as well. And that is another one now for XROCK. 8-4, they creep one round closer. It was almost there for ranking.
Yeah, the log play from Nevers was quite good here, but I still feel like they need to use more utility when I want to enter A side. They just pushed A side without any flash, without any nade. And this is tough because XROCK obviously having 3 players on A side since they play without mid. I think if you don't use that much utility, you should rather push B side, which is easier to push usually.
It's a tough one here. Ranking, trying to find a round, sneaking out of water, but they've got to run into trouble here. GA good for the first, Chow good for the second, and it's just not going to work out at all on the water push. 3 going down already. KT15 and Ice Cube trying to carve any path left out of this round, but KT15 at least good for 1 on the fall off, but it might not matter. Sunny already takes down Ice Cube, and KT15, it's not going to matter. He's taken down, and it's now map point on the table. Map 5, very, very close in the crosshairs now for XROCK.
Yeah, here's where they haven't given themselves enough rope, unfortunately, in the first half. Like, if it was a 5-4 or a 6-3, like, you'd still kind of have 1 more round or 2 more rounds where you'd be saying, you know, ranking, they had a pretty good start to the half. They were looking okay on Blacklist side. Ice Cube's found the entry. It's definitely still workable, but 9 for XROCK just feels a bit too much to come back from. Yang getting traded down though. KT15 not prepared to lose it here and now. Hugh though falls, and Gia might get it done. Ice Cube missing his shots as well, and XROCK, well, they will not be denied. It is 10-4 in the end. It took a little bit to get it over the line, but 2 apiece. Our first